President Joe Biden has handled the kerfluffle that was caused, we'll say, at the State of the Union when he called out some Republicans for wanting to cut Medicare and Social Security, or at least wanting to threaten them every 5 years with possibly sunsetting, and the GOP freaked out during that. And he said, okay, good. Looks like those aren't on the table then. And I really love the way this is being handled, because now it's kind of a campaign talking point that we're going to make very clear exactly what Biden was referencing. And also, Biden kind of tricked them into, on national television, committing as a party to not touching those things. And so he's playing this kind of nice balance of, I'm going to be showing y'all he's handing out pamphlets at different events. The exact proposal that I'm referencing here, that Rick Scott, a senator from Florida, put forward, that would sunset all federal programs every 5 years. And then I'm going to say, but they all committed to not touching Medicare and Social Security, so that shouldn't even be on the table when talking about spending cuts. Very nice first moment here from a recent event.
They seem shocked when I raised the plans of some of their members and their caucus to cut Social Security. And Marjorie Taylor Greene and others stood up and said, liar, liar. Reminds me of liar, liar, house on fire, yeah. Well, guess what? You know, I remind you that Rick Scott from Florida, the guy who ran the U.S. Senate campaign, has a plan. I got his brochure right here. Has a plan. Here's what he says in his plan. Let me open it up here. Sorry. He says, all federal legislation sunsets every 5 years. If the law is worth keeping, Congress can pass it again. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. And by the way, you have a senator named Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson on Social Security and Medicare, quote, we should transfer everything, so we have to consider everything every year.
I mean, it's interesting. Biden goes through these different cycles of kind of optical wins where you'll just not hear from him, and a lot of weaker moments publicly, and then all of a sudden it's back-to-back stronger moments I've noticed in the way he clashes with the Republicans. And right now, this I love. Go with this, because it not only makes clear that important programs to Americans, Medicare and Social Security, Medicaid, could be threatened if you were to give more power to the Republican Party. Also, it reveals their dishonesty, because they acted so offended that he said this, and then you provide the receipts and show that he was being honest during the State of the Union. Then getting to the part of him saying, but listen, if they're committing to not touching these things, I'm good with that, which is the perfect way to commit them to that before any negotiations took place about spending.
A lot of Republicans, their dream is to cut Social Security, Medicare. Well, let me just say this. It's your dream, but I'm going to, my veto pen, make it a nightmare. But here's actually the good news. There's a lot of good Republicans. I found it interesting that when I called them out on that last night, it sounded like they agreed to take these cuts off the table. Remember I said, no, I'm serious. Remember what I said? I said, so you're not going to cut it, huh? No. I said, okay, we got a deal. Well, I sure hope that's true. I'll believe it when I see it and their budget's laid down with their cuts they're proposing. But it looks like we negotiated a deal last night on the floor of the House of Representatives.
Perfect. Again, optical kind of political fighting and tangoing with the other side is not always Biden's strong suit, especially in the public eye. He doesn't nail public appearances so often, but this is great. This is a really good way to go about it. And I'm enjoying watching the way that the Republican Party is not effectively responding on their end to Biden's recent critiques of their stances. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before all the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get the full bonus show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley. Link in the description.